Oh, silly me. I forgot to change the calendar. It's not this month anymore. First Robotics is back in action after 667 days of stoppage. Yeah, it's not like that number's an omen or anything. Dust off your control panels, update your programs, grease up your Omni wheels, and hope you enjoyed your 12-hour days. Because at the end of build season, oh yeah, it's competition time. Now the game as a whole isn't that complex, but there is beauty in simplicity. It's no rearrangeable castle, sure, but we've still come a long way from the days of tennis balls and pools of corn. I still wish there was some element of cooperation in this, because we haven't had that in 7 years. But that's neither here nor there. Fingers crossed we can get a complete season off. With more and more regions replacing the regional model with the district model, recapping the regionals this week will be a breeze. However, while I may sit pretty talking about 7 events this week and 10 events next week, at week 6, I will recap 15 regionals and district championships, so best believe I'm gonna enjoy the light workload until then. These events gave us exciting matches and built up even more hype for events down the road. Let's see who booked an early ticket to Worlds. Children of the Corn and the Rembrandts on one side, with the Robo Vikes and Aluminum Falcons on the other. 179 ranked second at this regional despite going undefeated because ranking points go burr. Don't sleep on RPs, and don't sleep on Corn's auto, draining 5 of their 6 shots. But the Falcons auto helped tie things at 28 going into Teleop. An offensive volley that was a far cry from some of the low-scoring qual matches earlier in this event. Red made it rain and Blue couldn't keep up. Try as they might, and oh boy did they try. A few points here and a few points there was all the difference the one-seeded alliance needed for the win. Trading in that nail-biter with a barrage of balls. The one-seeded alliance of Hilltoppers, Nightcrawlers, and Robohawks made it a 30-14 game in auto over the 2-seed alliance of CIS, Thunder Robotics, and Technocrats. Swervebots are hard to defend, and Red had 2 on their side that could zip away from defenders and drain shots. Both sides started climbing early, but Red was able to get all of their bots off the ground in a win for them. The Gators, Patriotics, and Talon Robotics in Red against the Megahertz, the Databits, and the Green Machine in Blue. Red made it rain in auto, but it wasn't just the robots getting on in the action. Cue the human player with the absolute bucket. Lakers, sign this kid right here. The Gators had a tremendous offense, showing off how they got that number 1 seed. Blue had a long match trying to slow Red's scoring, but they kept the buckets moving. Blue looked to get a nice haul off of the double traversal, but cue today's sponsor, the letter F.
That letter F!
Red Alliance came away with the 99-57 victory in the finals match. The top 2 alliances squared off in Canada, as Red took the early lead out of auto, with some unlucky bounces from Blue. The Mecha Mustangs were able to get it going in Teleop, but Red responded by playing some tenacious D. This one was a low-scoring affair, all things considered, with Red opting to go in the low gold for cargo. To Be Determined got to the traversal while their partner 10-ton Robotics got to experience 9.8 meters a second squared. Blue got the double mid-hang, but Red got the 54-35 win to take the regional home. Taiwan was slated to host their first regional in 2020, but a certain health crisis that you might have heard about forced them to be the first event to get cancelled before the rest of the season followed suit the next week. Due to time differences, this event aired in the evening for me, so I watched a fair bit of it, and boy howdy was it entertaining. These teams and this production value showed up in a big way. The oldest team of the bunch, Raid 0, captained the top alliance, while 7634 captained the 3 seed. Red rattled off some deep shots over any defender who dared. Raid 0 made their cautious climb up to the traversal, while 7632 came oh so close to matching it in a very close victory for the 1-seeded alliance. The tale of two phases in Turkey. The 1-seed Red Alliance was able to weather the defense from the Blue Alliance, all the while holding them to just 2 shots into the high hub. However, the Red Alliance couldn't get any bots off the ground, while the Blue Alliance got 2 robots hanging. While that made it a closer game, the Red Alliance still came out with the victory. Port Hueneme, a name that shouldn't be as hard to pronounce, and it shouldn't be pronounced like that either. Regardless, it gave us a true gem from SoCal's seaside. This had so much hype from the get-go. Citrus Circuits and High Tide on the 1-seeded Red Alliance against the Greybots and Hawaiian Kids on the 2-seeded Blue. If Blair's there, the hype's there. The Citrus Circuits had a 5-ball auto before most teams had a drivetrain, and a climber that made the monkey bars look like, well, monkey bars. The autos on both sides looked pretty much identical, and even though Citrus had a misfire, their partners held down the scoring and they were able to get back to those long-range shots. Blue had offense going, but Red played some stingy D that made the matches a whole lot harder for them. Red Alliance took it home to cap off a weekend of regionals that needed no tiebreakers. I am so excited for the rest of all these regionals. This was a very exciting first week. I already know that there will be a ton of Fs this season. And just to let you know, that's not a bad thing. I've been there, watching thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours of work succumb to gravity. But failure isn't the falling down, it's the staying down. Keeping what works and changing what doesn't is how growth happens. Heck, that's how science happens. Take a deep breath, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. I'll see you in week 2, and remember, gracious in victory, professional in defeat. Amen.
Lots and lots of red cargo up through the upper hub. Human player makes the shot for the Red Alliance and into the teleoperated period.